What's up, Wolverines? I'm Sebastian Alvarez.
And I'm Andrew Hernandez.
Welcome to another edition of WBLN. Books and Books is a classic Miami bookstore, recently celebrating their 40-year anniversary. Javi Vasor brings us more.
Books and Books has been around our city for quite some time now, as they recently celebrated their 40-year anniversary. This recent milestone has had a major impact on the store and the community, but what is in store for the future?
To be in business 40 years as a bookstore means that the community has supported us in such a way that it has allowed us to do things that we set out to do early on, not knowing what kind of response we would have. But the fact that we've been in business 40 years has allowed me to be able to bring authors to the community, to also have the community respond to having a selection of books in a way that many other communities don't have access to. Certainly, perseverance is one of them, and also passion. You know, we're part of the passion economy, and I and all the booksellers that work with us love what we do, and we try to serve our community in the best way that we can. And I firmly believe that a local independent business of any kind can do that better than a chain. The commitment that we have to our community is unparalleled. You know, most small businesses feel that way. Nobody knows what the future of retail is going to be, and certainly not the future of books. If you think about it, only 15 years ago, there was no such thing as an iPhone, right? So 15 years from now, people might be visiting bookstores virtually. You know, that everyone may put on their Oculus, and you could say to your friend, I'll meet you at the bookstore, and it'll be just in the virtual bookstore realm. I've come to look at those things that are important to us and to the community. And those are the things that we do, which helps build community, and it helps bring people together. So one of the things we've done is we formed a not-for-profit called the Books and Books Literary Foundation. So no matter what happens in retail, we think the good work that we've been doing will carry on, no matter what happens in retail. So people will still be able to meet one another. They'll be able to meet authors. They'll have an advocate for the freedom to read, all of those things that are so important, and that the things that an indie bookstore does. You know, we brought over 10,000 authors to the store over 40 years. We've had 3 presidents come into the store. We've had 2 first ladies. We've had the children of presidents. We've had newscasters. One night I was waiting, I was about to close up, and in walked Paul McCartney from the Beatles, who just walked into the store. And we had a very long conversation about Charles Dickens, because Paul McCartney of the Beatles loved Charles Dickens.
For WBLN, I'm Javi Vasur.
A senior in the Belen Jesuit class of 2024 has been producing and publishing music onto Spotify for the past 2 months. I got the chance to speak with this student, Jake Usayan, about his journey so far. Jake Usayan is a senior at Belen Jesuit Preparatory School, but he is no ordinary student. Under the name Jake Michael, he has been creating and publishing his own music onto Spotify. Today we'll get to learn about his story, the struggles, and what has inclined him to produce music.
So I've been playing for about 3 years now. My widow was cleaning out his attic, so they were getting rid of a lot of stuff and we were out there helping. And he pulled out an old Spanish guitar, and I was like, never been into music before that, but when I saw that I was like, man, I'd really love to learn some music that like my parents had listened to forever, so it had a guitar in it. I was like, it'd be pretty cool if I tried that out. So then I took it home and it was like, I never turned back. When I sit down to write music after being at Belen for however many hours, I usually just kind of get my guitar and just start kind of improvising whatever I want. And eventually I'll just get an idea that I kind of like and I'll stick with. After that, I just kind of build the song piece by piece using Ableton Live. And I'll get my bass that I have at home, play it myself. All my stuff is played except drums because I don't have access. But that's kind of something I'd like to do in the future. After I get all that stuff, then I'll start mixing, just like volume, trying to get all the sounds to be mixed together in a way that you can kind of hear each of them and they're all loud enough, which is a process. And after that, I'll go and I'll just upload it on Spotify. It'll take a couple days to get posted, but once it's there, it's under Jake Michael and you can go listen to it. Trying to get what I have in my head down on recording, which sounds pretty easy, especially because ideas come to me pretty simply, but getting it on the software and to sound the way you want it to is pretty difficult. Another one, I guess, would be posting that first song, which is like getting from kind of liking how you sound and putting it out there for other people to listen to. And I think I've gotten great like feedback and all of that, and I don't think anybody's been mean to me for anything. But if it's the music for you, I think you're gonna love it, and if it's not, then I don't really care. So that would be my two challenges. I think it's pretty cool to be able to go on Spotify and listen to my own stuff. So it's kind of like a mind trip. That's already something that I was floored at. And for age, I don't think it really matters too much. The only thing I don't have is a lot of experience with software and things like that. The more time I have, I think the more comfortable I'll be with it. But I know a lot of great artists that I listen to that started younger than me or at the same age, and I don't think it makes a difference. I just think it'll be cool to see me now at 17 versus me in a couple years, wherever I might be.
If you're interested in hearing more music by Jake Michael, feel free to support him by following all his socials. For WBLN, I'm Andrew Hernandez.
U.S. military action overseas is aimed at protecting the economy here at home. Officials say that the U.S. and U.K. struck more than 60 Houthi targets in Yemen overnight. That's in response to the Iran-backed group's attacks on commercial shipping vessels along the Red Sea trade route. They threatened to drive up the cost of oil, gas, and other goods globally, but the risk of the U.S. retaliation could be involving it in a regional conflict near the existing war in Gaza. To negate that, officials say that the targets were specific. Some congressional leaders are expressing bipartisan support for the strikes.
Other news, McDonald's is bringing back one of its fan favorites, the Double Big Mac. The special sandwich features 4 beef patties as opposed to 2 in regular Big Mac. The Double Big Mac made its debut in March of 2020, days before the COVID-19 struck the U.S. The pandemic caused many restaurants, including McDonald's, to cut back on operating hours and menu items, including the Double Big Mac. Customers can try one starting at January 24th, and they'll be available for a limited time. This isn't the first variation of the Big Mac from the fast food giant. In 2017 and 2018, McDonald's sold the Grand Mac and the Mac Jr.
What's up, Wolverines? I'm Justin Malari, and here are your sports for today. The middle school basketball team defeated True North 45-28. The junior varsity soccer fell short against Doral, the score being 1-4. The Miami Dolphins play at Arrowhead against the Chiefs in the first round of the playoffs. The Miami Heat face off against Orlando Magic at the Kaseya Center at 8 p.m. That's all for your sports for today. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Justin. That's all of your news for today. Make sure to follow us on all social medias and stay safe.
And stay golden, Wolverines.